Hi, and welcome to episode 3 of our Heroes of the Storm series. This episode, we're going to be playing Stitches. I wanted to play him in episode 2, but Oriole came out, so I went with that instead. So, yeah, that's the plan. Quick summary of Stitch's abilities. Q is a hook that pulls a target towards you and deals a little bit of damage. Slam is a small cone AoE that does damage right in front of you. Devour is his E ability. It deals damage to an enemy and restores health. It deals a little less damage to, or rather, it deals extra damage to minions. Passive is Vile Gas. Every time that you take damage once per 3 seconds, you do small AoE damage over time. His first heroic is Putrid Bile. Lets him walk faster, and then when enemies walk through the bile that he leaves behind in his steps, they are slowed and they take damage over time. Second heroic is Gorge. It lets you eat an enemy hero, and what that means is he goes in your belly. So they can't cast abilities, they can't take damage. You can walk them over the wall if you want to be all cheesy. But for the most part, it just takes one hero out of a fight for a little while, so it's pretty good for that. And it lasts 4 seconds. Alright, that's Stitches. I don't have any cool skins for him, but it's pink, so that's fun. A little pink Wonder Billy to go with it. Look at that pose. What a sexy beast. Alright, so we're on Towers of Doom. On the blue team, we have Stitches, Artanis, Oriole, Abathur, and Jaina. It's a pretty decent team comp. On the red team, Oriole, Nazeebo, Gul'dan, Dehaka, and Johanna. So level 1 talent, pretty much always go for Hungry for More at level 1, just because I always build Stitches as tanky as possible. I mean, not to say that Dampen Magic is a bad ability. It's pretty good. It just blocks ability damage. Triggers once every 8 seconds. They do have a pretty heavy ability damage team with the Nazeebo and Gul'dan. Mostly the Gul'dan. But yeah, I mean, I'm just going to go for Hungry for More. And what this does is, every time you get a regen globe, it increases your health by 30 permanently. And when you hit 900, you also get a movement speed buff. 900 health, that is. So that means 30 regen globes. And I don't think I mentioned this, but they changed the animation for these quests, so now you get that little exclamation mark. It's kind of nice. It just tells you, so you know that you're actually fulfilling your quest. For ones like this, it's pretty easy to tell when you're doing it because you're just getting the regen globes. You know when you pick those up. But for other ones, such as like last hitting minions and stuff, it's pretty nice to be able to see it. So my E ability does have a pretty heavy heal, so I can pretty much stay in lane indefinitely. I might need to go grab some water out of the water fountain just because Miss Johanna is being pretty aggressive. As you can see, like her mana is definitely dwindling down more than mine. She did go to Sippy Cup there. My heal's on a 1-second cooldown. Probably back off here and just try to clear this wave and get this regen globe. There we go. Just auto attack down this wave. That's it. That's how you play Stitches. Get regen globes. Alright, so I'm gonna grab a little drink and then head back up here. In case you don't know, you can set multiple paths with shift click. It just helps you if you're going to grab Sippy Cup mostly. It kind of gives you the option of clicking it and clicking back right away, and then you don't have to actually watch your character. So, the Dehaka's coming in here, but I knew he was coming, so that's okay. Hook the Jaina. just because I need to interrupt her. I'll get Amplified Healing at level 4. What that does is increase all healing effects, all sources of healing by 30%. So it does make me quite a bit tankier in that I can survive more damage. I got the Oriole there. But it doesn't look like we're going to be able to capitalize on that, really. And it does look like our Artanis falls. That's okay. We got this tower. Let's just get out of here. Let's wait for them to disperse a little bit before I go back in and try to push this wave. Looks like they turned around, or started heading up top, I mean. So I should be fine. Dahaka's up top. We saw Nazeebo. We saw Gul'dan. So, eat that guy for some health. I should probably attack the same tower that the minions are attacking. There we go. And now I can just walk away. Second tower is almost out of ammunition, but not quite. I'm getting ambushed here. I am body blocked, but that's okay. I think I'll make it out. We did get a hook off there. Our sippy cup will be up in 1 second. There we go. Nothing we can do there. I don't want this to die because I wanted to eat it, but I didn't get to. It's okay. I'll eat this one. There we go. So there are still 3 bottom lane. Just avoid that wall. The Nazeebo walls have been a little off, which is good for me. I don't think we're moving in on this. I think that our Ariel just came down to top me off a little bit. At level 7, Tenderizer can be pretty good, but the Johanna will pretty much nullify anything I can do with that. And then Nazeebo and the Gul'dan would be the 2 targets there, basically. Savor Flavor can be decent. I'm gonna go for Tenderizer, actually. Maybe we can force Johanna to use her shield in a bad time. So let's see if we can do that. We can't slow down the Ariel. Should be able to get a pick on her. Nazeebo. There we go. The hook is up. So I will hook in. Oh, and I missed. Or rather, I didn't have the range to do it. Go up top to defend here against this Dahaka. Oh, that was the wrong ping. It's okay. Dahaka stuns me and just sits there. Sure. You do you, Dahaka. Alright, I'm gonna push in here with the Jaina. Or not with the Jaina, that's okay. Looks like there is something going on, which I don't really know why, but the Gul'dan's trying to attack me. I mean, we can definitely mess with this Gul'dan. Get the slow. I think just because we have that hook, we can interrupt him channeling his healing ability. So let's go ahead and heal up on this. I really want this Regen Globe, and I got it. Look at me now. Alright, I have my hook. If they do pursue, I should be able to get that off. Someone needs to defend against Gul'dan. Yeah, I just left that lane because I saw stuff happening down here, but our Artanis should do just fine. Alright, let's just get this Regen Globe and then move out of the way a little bit. Does not look good. Oh, there we go. Didn't look good for the friendly aerial. Getting stunned against the tower there. Let's just walk down. Nazeebo can't really do much to me. I do have the top hat on right now. I'm going in. Should be fairly disruptive. Can't slow the enemy Ariel. Alright, moving out of all of this crap. He did just pull me out of the Nazeebo wall, interrupting the Dahaka. Picking up my Putrid Bile. And channeling this just to force them to come in. My hook is almost off. They don't have 10. I'll hook this Oriole in. Should be an easy pick. There, we got it. Start the channel here. Okay, well, Nazeebo's gonna interrupt me. That's really annoying. Alright. Continue to channel here. We got this. There we go. There we go. Hook this Nazeebo. Get the slow from my tenderized talent. And then someone else got the bit. Perfect. He stayed in much longer than he should have. For sure. I can tank this if we want to... Yeah, let's just go. It's almost out of ammunition. Kind of tempted just to stay under the tower just to get it. It's a Johanna and an Ariel. I'm not really concerned with that. I could... Yeah, no. Let's leave this. We don't need to fight anything here. We got what we needed. Or what we went in for. Come up here and try to help. Yeah, it's not going to be enough to do anything to me. Alright. Those are two pretty good picks. Mostly the Jaina landing that ice circle... Boy, I forget what that's called. That was a horrible, horrible hook. That happens sometimes. Can definitely get this. There's the... Oh no, it's a level 13 talent? Yeah. Sometimes I pick up the Indigestion talent at level 13, and it spawns a Retchling when you use your Devour. And it pretty much just lets you get camps really easily on your own, just because it'll tank the camp for you, your Retchling. This Oriole is still going to die. Got a little more damage off, I guess. I'm not going to go for that here. I'm going to go for Relentless. Get out of the way of that. Again, really not that concerned about taking damage, just because we are so good at healing ourselves up. Look at that. Full health. Costs almost no mana. It's just on a cooldown. Alright, so coming in here. Abathur does have the copy out, so I won't be getting a top hat. That's okay. We do scare off this Gul'dan. Johanna, throw the slow out on her. We did take down the enemy Tahaka. So if the Johanna lets me slow her and doesn't use her shield, there's the Unstoppable. So that means that she's vulnerable to a hook. Not that it was necessary. But that was kind of what I was hoping would happen. As soon as Johanna pops that shield, I know that I can hook in really easily without any chance of her throwing up the shield while trying to run away. So, just gives me some time to, or it gives me the ability to force out that shield. Just gonna push in here with our Jaina. I think that's, we're getting pings. Okay, yeah. Didn't seem too dangerous, but that's fine. I don't think their Oriole's gonna chase me. Okay, yeah. There's 3 of them here, but we also have a large team here. We could potentially move in on this. I do have full health now. And let's just... Alright, there's the shield. Let's try to keep our the camp we got alive, just because it is. We have to get this Gul'dan for sure. But that should be no problem. I mean, Gul'dan's slowed. It should be a really easy pick, and it was. Alright, so the enemy camp is gone, so I can land a hook here if I just don't. There's the Oriole. Alright, so we can turn around now. We got 2 kills out of that, pretty good. I'm gonna get Fishing Hook at level 13, level 16. What that does is just increase the range of my hook. That's it. No damage, no nothing. The other hook talent here is Shish Kebab, and it lets you hook 2 things. So I could hook through like Nazeebo's wall potentially. If probably part of it was taken down, I couldn't actually hook through both sides of it. I could hook through a minion. I could hook 2 enemy heroes. It can be a really useful talent for sure. The other talents, this tier is actually all pretty good. Adds a slow to your W ability, which does have a range. I mean, a pretty hefty range. So I don't know why it shows it for like a half second. That looks like a bug. Anyways, yeah. So it adds a slow to it, so you can chase pretty effectively. And Stone Skin, which is a pretty generic talent, but it just increases survivability. I should be just fine here. Yeah, we don't really have any allied heroes nearby, but it's fine. So how am I doing on regen globes? I have 22. I mean, at 13 minutes, I wouldn't say it's horrible. I also wouldn't say I'm doing well. Did I seriously just get stunned against Nazeebo's wall? That's weird. Because that could potentially mean you could trap someone in the wall and then... Alright, let's pick up this Gul'dan. If you're just gonna walk in there, buddy, like, I'm sorry. That is not a good call. Okay, let's throw down the Putrid Bile. You can see what it looks like. I am moving in front here in really aggressive positioning, and we're well aware of that. Try to pick up this Oriole. If I can just auto-attack her, I can continue to slow her. Jaina was able to get that. I do have Friendly Hook. Something I didn't really talk about is that you can hook friendly heroes as well as enemy heroes with this one key. Let's try to get this hook off, and there we go. Got that hot kick. I have 8 seconds for my E ability, but if I can just pick up a regen globe, that'll be useful. And it's on cooldown now. Off cooldown. So I just need something to target. Artanis wants to get camps. Let's do that. So, half health. I mean, that healing's incredible. It's only 20% of your health. It's not crazy, but you have, I believe, the extra 30% that we picked up at level 7 does affect that. Regen globes get affected by that as well. So, I mean, if I sit in a lane, I can heal up incredibly fast. Let's get a hook off. Let's try to force the shield out. There's the shield. I do have my ultimate already, but I don't really have a need to use it as of right now. Now, okay. I could potentially keep the Artanis alive here. Also, try to... There's the Oriole. Let's move in front of this Gul'dan and body block him. Gul'dan's definitely going to die here. This Johanna just used her shield, so she's going to fall as well. I'm just going to push this up a tiny bit so that we can get this camp. The camp will do direct damage to the core. We'll do the 3 damage directly to the core, and that's the 3 we need. So this should be the end of the game. Level 20, I'm just going to pick up the Regenerative Bile, and that heals me when enemies walk through the bile. I'm not going to get to use it just because this camp is about to win us the game, but it is a pretty good talent. Hardened Shield, again, very good for survivability, and Bolt of the Storm, always good. So that game was very one-sided. I guess this map actually is a lot better for Stitches than I remember it being. It's been a little while since I've played Stitches. I just played him in a couple warm-ups this morning. And a couple times last week, because I was going to record a video last week as well. But I didn't end up doing that. Everyone cooperated well. So yeah, that's Stitches. I almost prefer losing games for this series just because it gives us something to look at, like why did we lose, what went wrong. Not that you can't learn from your victories as well. It can just be a little bit harder. So what do I think I was doing poorly in this match? I would say probably where I needed to improve most, besides landing hooks, would have been map awareness. So seeing when people are going into an objective or going into a fight. I did lane a lot by myself, and if we look at the stats, I bet it will reflect that. Oh, not too bad. But, well, okay, we had an Abathur. But if you look at my siege damage, it's right up there with Jaina. So that just tells you that I was sitting in lane clearing waves a lot. The XP contribution, again, is telling you that I'm sitting in lane clearing waves a lot. I mean, I had pretty good kill participation, to be honest. 23 out of 26. It's 22, 24, 23. Abathur doing Abathur things. Those numbers aren't as meaningful for what we're talking about. So yeah, map awareness is probably the bigger one. Stitches. Positioning is really important when you're trying to hook into a body block. I didn't really show any of that off. I'm not a pro Stitches player. So yeah, I mean, there's something I can improve on for sure. But I do think that I was kind of getting in front of the enemy team as they were retreating and doing a decent job at slowing them down with my ultimate. Alright, so that's Stitches. Really fun hero. Probably one of my favorites. As you can tell, I mean, I have him almost at the master skin, which is pretty cool if you haven't seen it before. There it is. So like I mentioned last week, I am trying to wean off of the replay videos at the very end. So I'm still going to go through that today. We're still going to look at that, but I think it'll be much shorter for this one. I think we were able to talk about it more during the gameplay, which is my goal. Welcome to the replay portion. Again, I'm just going to go through this match, skip around a little bit, all chronologically still, and point out the parts where I think I can improve in one way or another. So whether that's not having the map awareness, which I think came up a few times here, not having positioning to do good body blocks, which is the big part of playing Stitches. Just going to go through and point some of that out. Try to make myself more aware of it, and hopefully you can be more aware of it as well. So that's the kind of positioning you need for the Stitches hooks. That is having an ally on one side and yourself on the other side, walls on two sides, and you hook them in the middle. We weren't really coordinating for the body block there, but that's the positioning you want. Or better yet, if there's small passageways, which this map doesn't have a ton of, like right here, this is perfect. If you can hook someone in and have an ally here and yourself here, Stitches can block this section. He's big enough. And anyone can block right here. Oh, not anyone, but I don't actually know if this is a different size. Anyways, this is the kind of place that you want to pull in a hook and get the body blocks off and then just wail on someone. So overall, positioning was okay. I could have positioned a little more aggressively in terms of being able to defend for my team. I also could have used all these, I'll show you on the minimap, all these little corridors here, around here, for better body blocking, and it requires a little team cooperation. Alright, so that was the end of the replay. Next video I think I'm going to go with Rehgar, who also is great at body blocks for a different reason, and you'll see why. As you can tell, the videos are coming out a little bit faster now. I'm getting more used to the editing process, the recording process, so hopefully we'll get out at least 2 a week from this point forward. If you have anything else you think I can improve on for Stitches or in general, leave a comment below. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video with Rehgar. Bye-bye.